From the top of the new Devon Tower to the pumpkin patch to the soda counter to the home of America's brightest version of it, this week we bask in the color orange.
Travel with AAA's Discover Oklahoma.
Hi and welcome to AAA's Discover Oklahoma. I'm Jennifer Reynolds and we're coming to you from the campus of Oklahoma State University in Stillwater. It is homecoming weekend for me and my illustrious co-host, another proud OSU alum, Lieutenant Governor Todd Lamb. Welcome.
It's great to be back with you. It's great to co-host again Discover Oklahoma. You know, it's great. People love to come back to the college campuses where they went to school, a lot of activity, but I don't know if anything makes you realize time has passed when you go back to your college campus as we are right now. When I was here, I played a little football. Pat Jones was my coach. We were a member of the Big 8 conference. Right. Boone Pickens was an alum. He was not the name of the football stadium. So things have changed, but it's great to be back on campus.
When I was here, they were still wearing leather helmets, but nobody really wore orange. The students didn't wear orange. The alums did. We did not. It just wasn't the coolest thing to do. But all that has changed now. Alums, students, administration, faculty have all completely plugged in to the power of orange. There is an explosion of orange on game day in Stillwater, which goes thermonuclear on homecoming. But every day on campus, no matter the season, orange is in bloom. Well, first of all, I have to thank you for the scarf.
Oh, Jennifer,
Tell me about this.
Well, this is the OSU tartan plaid.
University President Burns Hargis gives others credit for the resurgence of O State's primary color.
You know, when I was in school, which was long before you were in school here, nobody wore it to speak of. I don't even think the football team wore it half the time. So it has really taken over, and I think it just symbolizes the renaissance of Oklahoma State University.
That signature citrus has been parlayed into a new campaign touting OSU as home of America's brightest orange.
What we're trying to do is raise the expectations about everything that we do. I'm a firm believer that you get what you expect, and you get what you focus on. And if we focus on excellence and we're going to be as good and better than anyone else, then that's going to happen. And I think you see it throughout. And orange kind of symbolizes this unity and dedication to excellence.
President Hargis also credits the campus and the people of OSU for helping set state enrollment records this fall.
It's a beautiful campus. Anybody that has not been here and comes here is stunned at how beautiful this campus is. The buildings, the grounds, everything else. But what is even more beautiful are the people.
And with major renovations to the athletic facilities, a makeover of the Student Union, which the president says is America's largest, and the launch of ostate.tv, Pistol Pete may need to apply for a passport.
We're just going to extend the OSU brand out very far, all the way around the world, so that everybody can enjoy America's brightest orange.
Here at OSU, everybody knows Pistol Pete is our surefire cowboy mascot, but his real life story really reads like a movie script.
That's right. As a matter of fact, one of the most famous lines John Wayne ever uttered, his character Rooster Cogburn, in the closing lines of the movie True Grit, Frank Eaton, i.e. Pistol Pete, claimed to have made said those same words years before.
And when he was avenging his father's death, we can't repeat them on this show because it's a family show. But those of you that know True Grit probably know what we're talking about. We did have a chance to kind of track down more of the story of Frank Eaton. Our Shell Wagner checked it out at the home in Perkins, where he spent the last 3 decades of his life.
The mustache-covered grimace and slightly crossed eye, the chap-covered bowed legs. It's the larger-than-life caricature known as Pistol Pete.
Even die-hard OSU fans may not realize that Pistol Pete was a real man, and he lived right here in this house in Perkins.
Born Frank Eaton, Pistol Pete was a real-life cowboy, scout, deputy marshal, and author. David Sasser is a real-life entrepreneur and history buff whose family knew the real Pistol Pete.
I heard stories about Pistol Pete from my grandfather. As a child, he would watch him walk on the top of a steam engine, you know, just hot and the steam coming off of it, barefooted. Or he'd pick up a piece of red hot metal in his blacksmith shop with his toes. Because his feet were frostbitten, he had no feeling. But to the kids, he was like this superhero, that he could do these amazing feats, and he was a great storyteller.
Meanwhile, nearby Oklahoma A&M, now Oklahoma State, was known as Princeton of the Prairie because so many of the early day professors had ties to Princeton University. That's the reason our colors were orange and black, like Princeton, and our mascot was the tiger, just like Princeton.
In the 1920s, the student body decided they wanted a mascot that was more fitting or representative of Oklahoma than the tiger. And about 1923, Frank Eaton, Pistol Pete, was in an Armistice Day parade in Stillwater. And they were really taken by his look, and they approached him about using his likeness as their mascot and becoming the Cowboys, and that's what they did.
While Pete was alive, he attended lots of events on campus and went to history classes and told his story, and you could find him on the sidelines of OSU games. Now Pistol Pete's Perkins home stands as the centerpiece of that town's territorial plaza. A recording of Pete plays from a vintage radio as you step through the threshold, alongside many of Pete's personal belongings.
We have some photographs of Pete actually in the house in the 1950s, and you look at the restoration, you really feel like you're there in the living room with him, or in the kitchen where he and Anna were.
Though Pete's house has regular visiting hours through the summer months, you'll need an appointment for a tour after Labor Day. But the still growing Territorial Plaza has great photo ops year-round.
Basically, we had tried to create a living history museum, kind of an open-air museum.
And then, of course, there's the sculpture of Pistol Pete, the real-life cowboy who for many is so much more than a mascot. Even in caricature form, he lives on as a symbol of Western spirit and as an ambassador for the Oklahoma way of life. In Perkins, I'm Shel Wagner.
The Frank Eaton home is part of the Oklahoma Territorial Plaza in Perkins, which also includes a turn-of-the-century log home, church, and schoolhouse. You can plan your trip to Perkins by checking it all out in advance at travelok.com. While America's brightest orange blooms here in Stillwater on game days, nature's brightest orange warms up our skies almost every evening.
And there's a great new place in downtown Oklahoma City to see the show. It's one of the newest restaurants in Oklahoma. It is the tallest restaurant in Oklahoma, and for this show, Discover Oklahoma, it's turning to be the orangest restaurant in Oklahoma. We're headed to the top of the dominating new Devon Tower. Be right back.
It was a Saturday morning and I went to an exercise class. As soon as the class ends, I go to the parking lot and somebody had stolen my car. I couldn't believe it. So I called AAA Insurance. They offered me a rental car. They told me everything was going to be all right. So when my car was found a week later, they said, "Bob, you need to change the locks on your car." I would have never thought about that if it wasn't for AAA. They really took care of me.
Get great service, low rates, and a free auto insurance quote today. Want to get away? Oklahoma road trips are fuel for the soul. To get your motor running, visit travelok.com for brochures, inspiration, and loads of savings. A few clicks will put you on the open road to adventure. At travelok.com/road trips, it's easy to find a getaway that moves you. We've reinvented the road trip. Come along for the ride.
It was almost comical. It was like, I can't believe this even happened. I look down the street, I see there's a tree across my son's car. I was just like, I called my AAA agent, Patty. She said, we can take care of this. AAA and Patty are great. You just feel like they have your back. They make everything as easy as possible. I mean, they really take good care of us.
Get great service, low rates, and a free auto insurance quote today.
Welcome back to AAA's Discover Oklahoma, coming to you from Stillwater, and a show that's all about orange this week. I don't know that anybody could have guessed that. But.
We are all about orange. We're talking about orange themes, orange history, orange tradition. That's some unnatural orange. Some natural orange, right, if you will, is the weather in Oklahoma. I'm no meteorologist, but I've been told, with information I've been given, there's more orange in our sunsets in the fall because of the angle of the sun and other matters. Point being, It's a great time. The weather's better. Take your honey out for a walk. Take your honey out for dinner and enjoy the nice orange sunsets we have in Oklahoma during the fall.
And there is no better place to get out and enjoy that sunset and really soak up all that orange than at the top of the new Devon Tower, rising 50 stories above downtown Oklahoma City. From virtually every angle, the new Devon Tower is built to wow you. And the two newest restaurants that are part of the Devon complex, which includes Oklahoma City's historic Colquitt Hotel, are no different. At ground level, facing the newly revamped Myriad Gardens, is Flint, hip and casual with the menu featuring contemporary American cuisine. At the very top of the Devon Tower is Vast, a restaurant that will serve up the grandest view in Oklahoma. Both are managed by the same team that reopened the Skirvin, needing to meet the expectations of that historic hotel's many devoted admirers.
Here, it's a different story. We're going to set new expectations.
We'd love to show it to you, but Vast is still under wraps for a few days more. Artist renderings hint at a chic, understated modern vibe, and the one photo we can show you gives a tantalizing view of a restaurant that is vast, but with lots of cozy spaces for more intimate get-togethers.
I've worked in Paris, I've worked in Turks and Caicos, I've worked quite a few countries. The last time I've seen something close to this was in Europe. So that tells you it's a beautiful restaurant.
Executive Chef Patrick Williams came from Kansas City to open Vast. Is he feeling excitement, pressure?
Yes, a little bit of both. The excitement, though, makes the pressure bearable.
The Vast menu is also sub rosa at the moment, but the concept is globally inspired American cuisine.
I always use paella as the perfect example of you're not going to come here and get the same paella that you would in Barcelona. We're going to change it. We're going to add some Asian influence. We're going to go to other parts of Europe. And in the end, the way we cook it is going to be in a way that people in Oklahoma, people in the Midwest can understand and identify with and still enjoy it.
The team hopes the food, the service, and the allure of an energy company penthouse will all put Vast on the culinary map and keep it there.
We want them to come maybe for the view. We want them maybe to come because they have an interview at Devon or a meeting here. But we want them to come back because they were treated so well.
Best of all, this will be no members-only club.
Totally open to the public. Nothing exclusive about it. You have to call for reservations, 702-7262. The restaurant's 726 feet, 2 inches above the sidewalk. There you go.
As the sun sets on the Devon Tower with its pearl of a restaurant still secreted inside, Devon adds to the OKC skyline a lighted tribute to the color we're celebrating this week, that lustrous autumn orange. Vast, the Devon Building's penthouse restaurant, opens the 24th of October and will be open to you, the public, and you can make reservations by calling 405-702-7262, Monday through Friday, 9:30 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Devon is a great corporate citizen for Oklahoma. Right. And the Devon Tower, the building going up, is a statement of Oklahoma's renaissance. Devon, the company, they're a great civically minded company, and the building may be in Oklahoma City, but it's an asset for the entire state of Oklahoma.
It's a great thing for us they've made that investment here in our state. We're lucky. Now, if you're looking for orange, you can find it much closer to earth. A pumpkin patch roundup next. Orange, you glad? We'll be right back. Sorry, I couldn't help myself.
Hello, Chuck May here with AAA Oklahoma. If you're like me, you'll agree that Oklahoma is a great place to live. But I'll bet you would also agree that we receive our fair share of extreme weather. Often this weather can cause damage to your home. Many insurance companies in Oklahoma have established limitations to their homeowners' policies, particularly for wind and hail, that are important for customers to understand. Our AAA insurance agents are available in 41 offices statewide to review your current homeowner's policy with you. Call an agent today to get a free quote and policy review on your home insurance. Whether it's a thunderstorm, hail, tornado, fire, or theft, get the security you desire with homeowners insurance from AAA. Until next time, may the road lead you to exciting new discoveries. Whether it's insurance, travel, or peace of mind on the road, think AAA every day.
Welcome back to AAA's Discover Oklahoma. Our honored co-host this week is Lieutenant Governor Todd Lamb, and our color of choice is orange.
Orange, we're talking about orange, and orange is around during the fall. One of the reasons I like fall so much is because of the pumpkin. I like pumpkin coffee, I like pumpkin tea, I like pumpkin cake,
Muffins.
I like cookies, I like all things pumpkin. I also like, our son is in 6th grade, our daughter's in 3rd grade, we carve pumpkins. Every year during Halloween, we do the carving, we put the candle in. The kids love it. Great family activity, so find your pumpkin, get some sharp, not so sharp utensils, and get after it and have a lot of family fun.
Or just paint it in our case.
Right, you just
we
paint
don't
it.
trust
You do
anyone
that
with a
too.
knife, we just paint it. And if you are looking for the perfect place to find that pumpkin, we can help you out. We sent our resident pumpkin devotee, Dino Lolly, out to blaze the trail.
It was a tradition that has now grown into a big fun business for the Michaels family in Shawnee.
We are from Oklahoma, and we moved away. We moved to Lawrence, Kansas, and we took our kids to a pumpkin patch up there. And they loved it, and it became a tradition for us. So when we moved back home, we decided we wanted to do that ourselves.
You want to see a variety of pumpkins? Well, here's a great place to start. Talk about an assortment that makes for quite an impressive pumpkin patch. Now, of course, there are other activities that will put a smile on your face.
We have round hay bales they jump on the hay. We keep it to where it's things you would find on a farm mostly. Like we have a sand pile they can play in. We have duck races where they pump water.
And don't forget the hayride and the always fun corn cannon. At the Pleasant Valley Farms in Sand Springs, they grow different varieties of winter squash and pumpkins, usually from around 11 or 12 different countries. They are all shapes and sizes, colors, you name it. So if you're looking for that perfect pumpkin for baking or making a pie or maybe soups and jams, shopping here is fun. But if you're also looking for a colorful place to relax, Pleasant Valley Farms can get you set up. Oh yes, there's no cost to come in. The petting zoo is free, as is the hayride. Now the pumpkins cost, and there are varying prices on different varieties. And speaking of variety, along Route 66 you can find the P-Bar Farms in Hydro. It's here you'll find another agritourism destination where the list of farm-themed things to do is extensive. This one-time working family farm is known for its maize, but one of the more popular activities is taking a tractor-pulled hayride to the pumpkin patch. And then you get to choose your very own pumpkin straight from the vine.
We grow the pumpkins here on the farm, and that's another thing that's kind of different from some of the other places. Maybe they bring their pumpkins in, but we grow them here, and we enjoy doing that. It's a lot of fun. The kids enjoy it. It takes forever to pick out a pumpkin.
And while you're here, you've got to take a turn through the corn maze and its 95 decision points. You'll also face a lot of decisions when you visit Shepherd's Cross in Claremore. They have activities going on all year round. They too have a hay maze, beanbag toss, and one I've never heard of before, corn cob bowling. They also have a yearly pumpkin festival.
A lot of different games out there. Pumpkin stroll. All the pumpkins and gourds and squash and whatnot are for sale. We grow some of them here, and some of them we get from other farmers as well.
This is a favorite time of the year for so many, yours truly included, and with the fall colors and pumpkins springing to life, this is your chance to go out and enjoy them. I'm Dino Lolly.
Well, after the last segment and what I was talking about, you mentioned the pumpkin muffins. I'm getting a little hungry, a little thirsty. I don't know about you, but I think it's time for some refreshment.
I think it's time to cozy up to the counter and order an orangeade.
I love orangeades.
We're headed for a Kingfisher landmark when AAA's Discover Oklahoma returns.
It was almost comical. It was like, I can't believe this even happened. I look down the street, I see there's a tree across my son's car. I was just like, I called my AAA agent, Patty. She said, we can take care of this. AAA and Patty are great. You just feel like they have your back. They make everything as easy as possible. I mean, they really take good care of us.
Get great service, low rates, and a free auto insurance quote today.
Want to get away? Oklahoma road trips are fuel for the soul. To get your motor running, visit travelok.com for brochures, inspiration, and loads of savings. A few clicks will put you on the open road to adventure. At travelok.com/road trips, it's easy to find a getaway that moves you. We've reinvented the road trip. Come along for the ride.
It was a Saturday morning and I went to an exercise class. As soon as the class ends, I go to the parking lot and somebody had stolen my car. I couldn't believe it. So I called AAA Insurance. They offered me a rental car. They told me everything was going to be all right. So when my car was found a week later, they said, "Bob, you need to change the locks on your car." I would have never thought about that if it wasn't for AAA. They really took care of me.
Get great service, low rates, and a free auto insurance quote today.
Welcome back. AAA Oklahoma makes this show possible and does a lot of other great things around our state. Here's a look at today's AAA.
Hello, Chuck May here with AAA Oklahoma. We've always been strong supporters of making sure drivers are safe on the roads, which is why we support a number of charitable causes that advocate just that, safety. The AAA Foundation for Traffic Safety is one such organization. They are dedicated to saving lives, reducing injuries, and enhancing traffic safety. Since 1947, the foundation has funded hundreds of projects designed to discover the various causes of traffic crashes, how to prevent them, and how to minimize injuries when they happen. AAA has used this research to develop high-impact educational materials for drivers, as well as bicyclists and others who use the roads. This is just one of the many charitable organizations that AAA Oklahoma fully supports. Our goal is to make sure that all of your driving experiences are safe ones. Until next time, may the road lead you to exciting new discoveries. Whether it's insurance, travel, or peace of mind on the road, think AAA every day.
AAA for the ones who matter most to you. We don't want to say we're old or anything, but we can both remember riding our bikes to the local drugstore to go and get a little sandwich, something to drink. I was a chocolate soda fan.
Lime Ricky, downtown Enid. I'd get a Lime Ricky, great drink. I remember it very well.
You can still get that experience in Kingfisher, though.
You can. I travel around the state a lot, as you know, Jennifer, and I've gone out of my way, taking a detour to go to Tom's Drug in Kingfisher, where we're headed next, to get an orange aid, second to none.
All right, Shel Wagner's going to take us there now.
Several years ago, we brought you the story of a legendary beverage, a refreshing concoction known as the original Orangeade, a tangy, zippy drink that starts with juicy, ripe oranges. To claim your own Orangeade, you had to find your way to this counter at Tom's Drug in Kingfisher, where then owner Charlie Randall told us that taking time to sit and sip was a local pastime and had been for generations. But then in 2010, Tom's Drug changed hands. It got a new owner and a different name. And many worried that those nostalgic afternoons spent hanging around the friendly fountain might now be a thing of the past. But I'm happy to report there's no need for concern.
Even though the building says Medic Pharmacy now instead of Tom's Drug, inside it's exactly as you remember.
And that's on purpose.
Well, tradition's worth a lot, and the value in, especially the Orangeade, and what that brings, and the name that it carries, and the reputation that that carries, the number of people that we have come into our store for the Orangeade. I mean, if you're in Kingfisher County, you know Orangeade.
Jessica Wright is the head orange squeezer these days. When demand outgrew the manual juicer, we're talking hundreds of oranges a week, an upgrade was made to an electric squeezer. But everything else is just like it has always been.
It's the same recipe that has been carried down for years and years. I mean, we're talking 50, 60 years plus. And we haven't tweaked it. We don't mess with it. We don't try to spiff it up. It is what it is, and people love it.
You want to try it? Thank you. This is the famous Orangeade here in Kingfisher. Really, ooh, that's good. You've got to try this.
Even though the spotlight shines brightest on the Orangeade, the menu here boasts a substantial supporting cast.
We have a wide variety of sandwiches, deli sandwiches, and we typically have soups or salads and things with them. And it's just a nice homemade meal. And it's really inexpensive.
So if you assumed the Orangeade tradition had drained away when the sign out front changed, you can rest assured knowing that the simple, time-honored beverage lives on and stands at the ready to pep you up, no prescription needed. At Medic Pharmacy in Kingfisher, I'm Shel Wagner.
That's our show for this week. A big thanks to Lieutenant Governor Todd Lamb for co-hosting and helping us share the tourism message.
My pleasure. Thanks for letting me co-host again. It's a lot of fun. You do a great job getting the message out. Fall's a great time in Oklahoma, a reprieve from the hot weather, the summer. Take a staycation in Oklahoma. Go see a football game, high school or college. Stay in that community overnight, see what there is to do. Visit travelok.com. That can help you plan your staycation this fall.
And for those of you out there who prefer crimson, you know, we have done a red show previously, and we have something you're going to love next week. Next week, get your scaredy pants on. Take a ride into the woods for an evening of terror and Sperry. Take the chill out of your bones with a warm Irish welcome at a Guthrie pub. And track the elusive Sasquatch through the wilds of southeastern Oklahoma. Hope you'll join us. Until next time, remember,
there's always something to discover in Oklahoma.
Production vehicle provided by the Oklahoma Ford Dealers, official partner of the Oklahoma Tourism and Recreation Department.